Hey guys, so today I want to explain to you the paradox of shadow work and how I would suggest you go about doing shadow work or go about intending to clear some of these things out of your life, out of your energy. So previously I was someone who never believed in shadow work. I believed that everything could be let go of, everything should be let go of, and there's nothing but the present moment. And while I still believe this is true, it got latched onto as dogma in my mind. And so when I started finally going in the direction that I wanted to go in, when I let myself go in the direction that I wanted to go in, shadow work just occurred on its own. And so I still don't believe in going about things and thinking that you have all these problems, magnifying the problems, and going about some specific certain type of process to get rid of it. I believe in making an intention to move past some of these things. And we can only bring up things when we are in the right place to do so. And the paradox here that there's nothing but the present moment is really important, because the present moment includes all of your past memories. And in the past, we did hold on to energy and we held on to trauma. And what enlightenment itself is a releasing of these things. And so, just as it seems to us that those things happened in the past, the releasing of the trauma and the trauma itself is happening right now. Now, trauma and pain and painful memories is all a mental interpretation of things. And so to truly do shadow work, you have to let go of the identification of good and bad and the identification of the person who they happen to. And again, this sounds different from how it really is. Letting go of an identification of you can also feel like this intense self-love and embracing of who you are. And so shadow work and self-love are the same thing, and true shadow work, and this is tying the two together. And so one of the coolest things that I can tell you about shadow work is you will go really far and digging up in your past and going up over the things that you were really, really drawn to, especially as a child. If there is a favorite stuffed animal, a favorite movie, going back and watching that again, going through your old bedroom. If you've just left a bunch of stuff at your parents' house and they haven't dealt with it and you haven't dealt with it, it's a really good idea to go through that stuff again. If you have old journals or artwork, that's a great place to look. And you'll notice how painful moments and this sort of longing nostalgia kind of all blends together for you. It's as if this is the best metaphor I have for how shadow work is truly done. It's as if you are appreciating and letting go of yourself, and you're appreciating yourself as if you were a character, that you're actually waking up to the fact that you aren't the character in the story. You're the author who also created as part of their own psyche, as part of this sort of journey and experience and creation of this novel that they're creating. And you're the main character, you're the focus. You are your own chosen one. And it's funny with enlightenment that some people get this complex of being the chosen one. Well, you truly are your own personal chosen one. And shadow work is going back and choosing all of the challenges, all of the past, of accepting it, of seeing the love in it, of seeing how it made you who you are in this very moment, how all of these past things led to this, how this right now is the pinnacle of everything that was, of all the pain you went through, of all the people you hated were just characters that you yourself dreamed up to experience you, to cause you to want things, to cause you to move in a different direction in life, to cause you to be the person you are right now. That is the acceptance, the true acceptance of the present moment. And when we are ready to finally go in that place with the acceptance and love, it's not a drudgery. It's not going through this stuff because we want to get rid of it. And in the past, I had compulsions to confess things to my parents because I wanted to do my own sort of shadow work. And it was all in an incredibly torturous place. And that is not how things are released. And this is what enlightenment is. We purposefully caused ourselves all this pain, all this tension, all this, so we can release it. That is what creation and life is itself. And that's where time sort of stops, and that's where it's sort of beyond comprehension. And this can be really difficult to accept because it does mean it makes life, it makes your own very life this incredible, incredible gift that is too much for us to accept until we do this shadow work and we see the intelligence that went behind it, the intelligence and the thought and the care and the love that went into the creation of this gift. And this is what my biggest mystical experience was a glimpse into this, into my own life. And people like to hear about mystical experiences, but when you hear about someone else's mystical experience, it sounds like, my best metaphor is if you buy something from a foreign country and they didn't hire a translator for the directions and just kind of did it themselves, and you read it and you're like, what the hell did I just read? When you hear about someone else's mystical experience, it sounds like complete nonsense because you don't know their backstory. And so the shadow work is going through and understanding your own personal backstory. And then the universe just sort of bestows these gifts upon you. And you see that the entire thing was this beautiful gift all along to begin with. And you finally see the gift for what it is. And that's the release of it all. And that's why any author writes a novel. It's like the Harry Potter book. Harry Potter, his parents are killed, and there's Voldemort, and there's all these horrible things that happen to him, and he discovers this true power that he is his own chosen one in the story. And that is what your enlightenment is. And so you can see why this is described as letting go of a story, and yet it's truly an embracing a story. And it's embracing the present moment, and yet it's also embracing the past and embracing the future and embracing your wants and embracing where you want to go. And so a lot of the reason why spiritual people don't agree with each other, truly heart to heart we do, but we're each trying to balance each other out, and we're each trying to play devil's advocate because we know we're both God and devil within the same person. And enlightenment is knowing that there's no threat there at all, that it is you, that it is this gift of existence. And so, like I said, I never intentionally wanted to do shadow work. It was something I went into. And it can feel like a love of drama, which is a very funny thing, how, people love to gossip and we love to listen. we love to watch these movies that with all kinds of horrible plot lines and horrible things happen. There's something inside us that really loves drama. And so you can see how entertainment and gossiping about other people or watching TV can be a distraction, because the drama you want to love is your own. That happened to you. That was for you. And so when you do shadow work, there's all kinds of these little gifts strewn along and little like pointers in your life. Things that you loved, things that you hated are kind of transmuted and seen through in a different way. And one shocking thing to me when I did this was how incredible name meanings are. And I always detested my own name, Amanda. And there's two funny things about this. It means worthy of love. And so when I did the shadow work and it was this incredible self-love experience, and I found the name that I hated, the name I was given at birth, worthy of love. And also enlightenment, a big theme of it is integrating the feminine and the masculine. And one reason I hated my name was because it was made fun of as a man, duh. And I realized, we're neither really male nor female. This is just appearances. And there's all these things that you'll be like insights and realizations and stuff when you go back into your past. But don't do it if you're not inspired to do it. And now that this has happened, I can go back, I can feel a need starting to arise sometimes to go into something. And there's an incredible emotional release. And once you get to a certain point of release, it's like you'll never cry and suffer. You'll never equate crying or equate depression with suffering again. It's just release. It feels that way. You break through this sort of wall where in your head it was. And so if you get really sensitive to how you feel, when you're just making yourself feel bad by thinking thoughts that don't need to be thought, and you know the difference between that and releasing thoughts. And this is a subject that it was given to me. It wasn't anything I ever chose. And so it's a subject I'm really interested in going further with. And I eventually want to change my career into one of helping people do this somehow. And I have a high school education right now. Everything that I've done artistically or anything has always been self-taught. And so I don't know what avenue I'll be going about doing that. And it's also a very sensitive thing, something that you can do for yourself when you know you're ready. There has to be a readiness there to do it. But like I said, I encourage you to if you're paying attention to how you feel, to kind of talk to your siblings or talk to old childhood friends, go through stuff in your old room. Think of your transition into adulthood. How smoothly did that go for you? Think of things. There's something very strange that happens to us around like the preteen years, that transitional. Think back, like traumatic experiences. For me, my most traumatic experiences were seen as near awakenings, were seen as an opportunity to see this that I wasn't quite ready for. And so I understood that this enlightenment, the gift of realization, the gift of release, the gift of the present moment was the entire point. And it's an incredible release when you realize that. So these are my thoughts for you today on shadow work. I think that it will probably be a common topic in videos to come. If you're interested in my perspective on spirituality, spiritual topics, personal development, please subscribe to my channel. Please like this and comment. I'd love to hear from you guys. See you soon.